This is an uncensored podcast about sex, sexuality, gender, and body stuff. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the person or persons sharing them. Some names have been changed to protect the anonymity of its participants. Hello, my darlings. How are you tonight? It is beginning to feel like spooky season. Is it? Is it? Honestly, it's not. It's really not. But motherfuckers are crazy. I feel like these people who have declared that on Instagram and TikTok, they've declared that spooky season begins on August 1st. So you have all of August, all of September, and all of October for Halloween, basically. And it's fucking crazy. It's insane. Halloween is my favorite holiday. And yes, I love holiday crafts, and I love spooky shit, and I love all of it. And I do feel so sad when it's come and gone. But 3 months for a holiday, for any holiday, I don't know. It's too much. This is Make Sex With Me, a podcast, where we're running on empty. We're running on empty. And we is me, Drew Michael. I'm your host. I had to... Honestly, I'm not running on empty. It's just my day off. And I like to get these episodes out before the day that they're supposed to be released. But I'm a busy little bitch. And I've had a lot on my mind. There's some stuff in the works. And a lot of possible life changes for me. I don't want to announce anything publicly right now because I'm really excited about something that might possibly come to pass, and it also might not. So I'm not ready to talk about it. I just thought I'd mention it so you guys could, be burning with anticipation. Yeah, it's late. This is gonna be a quickie. Does anyone think that I should go on Wegovy? Is that the one that's affordable and accessible? What's the other one? What's the main one? The weight loss injection. What the fuck is that one called? I can't actually remember. The minute I realized it wasn't easy to get, I was like, oh, well, I'll go for Wegovy. So that's the one. And everyone's saying, in order to get it, you have to, get it from, a compound pharmacist. So, you're just getting the compound that is, the active ingredient in whatchamacallit, and then you, they put it into a serum in a syringe and then give it to you, and you're like, here you go, bitch. Here's your Wegovy. What is it called? I can't think of the name of the drug I'm trying to think of. Somebody's screaming at me about it from their house, and I love you. I wish you could scream louder. I can't hear you. Thanks, though. Thanks so much. Y'all, please rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and please like us, give us 5 stars, send us emails at makesexwithmepodcast@gmail.com, and I'm diving into the notes. I'm diving into the notes for this one. I found a thing way down at the bottom, and I decided I was going to talk about it. But let's see here. Oh, here's something interesting, you guys. And maybe, can I make a little bullet? I like to do the little bullets in my notes, and then I can check things off as I go. I am, as y'all know, really excited to move away from South Carolina. And as we get closer and closer to November, I might have to do that. Like, depending on how things go in November, if Trump is elected, a lot is going to change. Probably not right away, but eventually. Some really bad things may come to pass in our country, but I absolutely will not feel safe living in a red state. And I'm going to have to leave South Carolina. So it's just got to happen. Probably my elderly white parents will be fine staying here in their retirement, but their queer ass child is going to have to leave. I'm going to have to leave. And shit's going to be real fucked up. Let's not even think about it. Let's just think about Queen Kamala and the coach. That's all I'm going to think about. I'm so excited for Kamala Harris to be the first female president of the United States. That's going to be really good. But here's another reason why I want to move away from this smallish town in South Carolina. And that is, I was on Grindr or something, and I fucking hate Grindr. But I was just looking, see what's up, right? And I noticed that, and I have noticed in the past that there's like a lot of like faceless squares on Grindr, like just people who just don't want their identity known, and they don't put a picture up, and it's just literally a black square. It's like a black square with like a like an outline of like someone's profile, but it's like a standard male head or something with short hair. That's all you get. And then some of those same people will put down very, very little in the description of who they are, about themselves. Oh my God, I swear to God, if I yawn one more time. So I was like, I feel like I need to know how many black squares there are on this Grindr in my fucking town. And it's a small town. So I did like about a 16-mile radius from where I was at my house. If you go 16 miles in either direction, you'd probably hit something different. Maybe you'd hit like a different town. Maybe, I don't know. So anyway, I thought 16 miles was good enough. And so I counted all the black squares, and then I counted all the squares in total up till about 16 miles away. And I found out that 51%, so that's 49 out of 96 squares, do not show their faces on Grindr where I live. 51%. The majority of the men where I live don't want anyone to know that they're on Grindr. For whatever reason, but we can assume the main reason is because it's a gay sex site. What the fuck? And I'm not even counting people who just had a picture of their torso and not their head, not their face. I'm talking about people who legitimately just had black squares. There's other people who have some kind of picture, but it might not include their actual face. I'm not even counting that, but I'm sure that would increase that number a lot. So that's fucking crazy. So I've got to get out of here, motherfucker. Like, I gotta go. Gotta get far, far away. I need to be closer to a city. I need to be around more diversity, equity, and inclusion. All of the good stuff. Oh, please. So that's pretty depressing. I just want to share that with you guys. Is there something else I wanted to say? I am going to talk about this. Okay, so Twitter, and I think you guys know I'm going to continue to call it Twitter because fuck Elon Musk. Although I had this idea the other day that Elon Musk, did I call him Elon? Elon Musk is possibly doing something very smart, which is to align himself. Did I just say Elon himself? What is with me saying Elon? Is this like some kind of like subliminal messaging that I don't realize I'm a part of? Elon Musk is aligning himself with Donald Trump and a lot of these like conservative MAGA people. And I find that very interesting because you're going to probably start to see more and more conservative people that can afford Teslas driving Teslas. And I already see conservative wealthy people in my town driving Teslas. Someone has the Tesla truck, and I've seen it at my grocery store now, and it is so stupid looking. I absolutely hate it. I do like the metal finish. That's kind of nice, but it just looks like a fucking space rover. It really doesn't look like a car. It's just too, I don't even want to say ahead of its time. It's just, I don't know. Did a lot of planning go into the look of that automobile? I don't know. And it doesn't look like a truck. It's called the Tesla truck or whatever, or like the super truck or whatever the fuck they're calling it. And it doesn't even function as a truck. I mean, does the back of it hold things? I don't know. Maybe I should look that up. But anyway, my idea was that Elon Musk, fuck, he might be trying to align himself with conservative leaders in order to get a different demographic of people to buy electric cars. And if that's the case, I'm kind of loving that. But I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't give him that credit. We'll see what happens. Let's just see what happens. But anyway, I'm not talking about Elon Musk other than the fact that he bought Twitter and is now trying to call it X, and I don't want to call it that. But I feel that since Elon Musk acquired Twitter and changed it to X and fired like everybody that was working for Twitter, it fucking sucks now. But that being said, my Twitter has a lot of porn on it, and I would say probably more porn than ever before. Also, there's a lot of like, um, there's a lot of anti-democratic shit popping up, and a lot of like propaganda shit popping up that I know shouldn't be in my algorithm because I don't watch shit like that. And so I have this feeling that probably they're pushing this shit into people's algorithms because they want Donald Trump to win. So that's fucked up. Don't allow that. But that was a long way around trying to like tell you about something. There's this term that's popped up on the internet, and I think it's pronounced chudai. I'm typing in what is chudai. What is the deal with chudai on Twitter? All right. So every time I see like a hot porny thing on Twitter, I see the words chudai under it. So it's CHUDI. Oh my God. Is my brain damaged? CHUDAI. I think I'm exhausted. What does this say? Someone wrote on here on the Reddit, what's the deal with chudai? Does this word mean anything? I'm seeing a lot of apparently bot accounts uploading whole porn movies 2 hours plus on Twitter. The video is usually JAV. Why? Is anybody getting money from it? I really doubt the accounts are from actors promoting their work, blah, blah, blah. Did anyone answer this person? Answer. Chudai means sex in Hindi. The tags are for reaching Indian users. It technically means fuck, but same thing. Just some bots feeding the India Twitter goons. Oh, I thought it was going to be something about right-wing artificial intelligence. It's more of a rolling joke now than about reaching Indian users specifically. I spend a lot of time on not safe for work Twitter. Yeah, I would say I do too. Someone else said, like other users said, chudai means having sex in Hindi. Musk allowed porn on Twitter, and blue ticks can earn revenue through engagement. So all of these bot accounts are posting and reposting for Indian audience. I don't know what that word means. Copyrights are not stringently followed on Twitter. I've seen random bots uploading full movies as well. So I don't think I've seen full porn movies, but that's so interesting. I assumed it was Thai. I assumed chudai was Thai. Let's go back to this other thing. It said Urban Dictionary, chudai. It says chudai means fuck, sex between man and a woman. Act of fucking, Hindi, Urdu slang. Okay. So that's kind of fun. I don't know. Chudai Muri Cow, a Bangla phrase which means go fuck yourself and literally translates to fuck your rice puffs and eat it. Because rice means Muri, a rice puff Muri. Okay. Well, that's really fun. Thanks for that. I love that. And I do suspect that it's been like kind of grabbed onto. I don't think that every single time you see chudai in Twitter porn, it's going to be like a bot creating posts for audiences in India. I think it's like just so observed now that like people are like maybe like took the term chudai and they're like using it as like a Gen Z porn phrase, which I really like. It makes me really happy. All right, so our main story this week is about I had to deep dive into my notes here. And I saw that I wrote down something. Where did it go? Was it all the way at the bottom? Where did it go? Yeah, I want to check it off. Um, Jol- Volcano jerk off pic is what it says. And so I want to Google volcano jerk off. And I want to look for images. So I thought there was an image of a person jerking off in front of an active volcano. Like a little too close. Like maybe like in Hawaii or something. And I saved that in my notes a long time ago. But then I, of course, forgot, and then I don't know how to like find where I saved. I don't know if I saved the picture. I don't know if I saved a link. It might not even be a working link anymore. But I figured, okay, I'll just Google it again, and I will maybe find it. Or I suspected, well, maybe there's multiple people jerking off in front of active volcanoes. And originally, the picture or whatever it was I saw, it wasn't like a volcano exploding. It was just like, I don't know. And I guess in my memory, they were just like at the top of a mountain with like lava inside. I don't know. My memory is like it's like animated. It's not it's not real in my memory. It's like a cartoon. So anyway, I Googled it today and I've got this video. And it's called Double Eruption: Jacking Off While Watching a Volcano in Iceland Erupt. Now, some of you might know that there's recently been a lot of volcanic activity in Iceland. Iceland has like active volcanoes. Like they don't erupt all the time, but they're not like dormant. Like, and I think like big parts of Iceland are like still being like created by volcanic activity, like either underwater or like above, I don't know, above water. I don't really know how to talk about that. But so I found this video and it's a guy and he's at like a pretty safe distance. I'm going to play it so you can hear some of the noise. There's our little Pornhub. It says double eruption. So you kind of heard him coming. But what's weird is that you see in the distance, it looks like a scene out of like The Lord of the Rings. Like it's like all dark. Like the land is all dark. He's like up on like a cliff or something. He's like in a sleeping bag. I don't know if he was like camping near a volcano. It's like a almost 5 minute long video. And so he's jerking off and he's like really hard. And it looks like maybe he's like edging, maybe he's like trying not to come. Also, the person who posted this, I believe, is called Naughty in Nature. Notty in Nature. Wonder if his name is Not something, because that's not how you spell naughty. But every once in a while, I don't know if you can hear it. Every once in a while you hear crackling of rock in the distance. You could also hear his dick as he's like lubed it up or something. But you can see there's like glowing. Like not even near the mouth of this volcano, but like in the distances around it, you see glowing and smoke coming up from the land. And so he's like picking up speed. Also, it looks like his dick skin is, like, really tight. Like, I feel like he needs some more skin. Also, he must be, like, American or something, or Jewish, because he's circumcised. He's definitely not an Icelandic person. And then, let's see here. You start to hear it. Also, at one point, I'm not kidding, you hear, like, a little dink, and you see a piece of rock, like a tiny piece of rock, just kind of land on his leg. So there's things flying in the air from this active volcano. I think this is probably not a safe place to be. I mean, because you really don't know what's going to happen. It could just be a little lava. Or it could be like a seismic... Oh, there's that little piece of rock. Dink! And he's just like, yep, I could get my head crushed by a flying boulder, but I've got to come at the same time as this volcano. Oh, here it goes. It's smoking. And there's, like, lava shooting up in the air. And, of course, he's very turned on by it.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. It's pretty crazy, guys. I mean, it's funny, it's like porn, but I'm not even looking at his dick as much as I'm looking at the volcano, because I've never seen a volcanic eruption before. It sounds like constant thunder. Maybe he isn't circumcised. I don't know. It kind of looked like he was. Wonder what his other posts are. Naughty in nature. Oh, so he's got another eruption. What is this? Okay, those are the same video. There's another one, part 2. He's in a different location. Wonder if this is what I saw before.
What would you do if you get a video like this?
I don't want this
Willing
ad.
to drive 10 minutes for some hot gay sex?
No, I don't want your hot gay sex. I won't drive anywhere for hot gay sex. Okay, so now he's at a different distance. It looks like he's much further away. But the same kind of thing. He's just jerking off while there's fire shooting out of the earth. And oh my god, he's walked down into what looks like cooled volcanic river. Like, he's just like, let's just get as close as we can to dying. I wonder about that. I wonder if it's like something to do with like the danger of it, or like, I don't know, like maybe it's similar to like auto asphyxiation or something, or maybe some people are just so turned on by like the power of the earth. I don't know. I have a friend who said he gets turned on by nature, like trees and stuff, and I've never seen him in nature naked, but that's interesting. I like to be naked outside. It just feels really good. But I can't say that there's something about nature that turns me on. I can't say. Can you guys say? Does that make any sense to you guys? Let me know. Let me know if anyone's like real turned on by things in nature. I know there was a woman who was like, I think she was in a relationship with a tree or something on the internet, or maybe it was someone's fence. She just liked to sit up, she liked to straddle their fence, and she was like, I'm in love with this fence. I've asked it permission to touch it, and it agreed or something. It's really fun. So, but what's really interesting is you think like, oh God, what are they going to think of next? Like people have just really gotten really crazy, these days, until I found in my research this little tidbit. This is from theconversation.com, and the article is written by Esme Louise James, the University of Melbourne. Okay, so, and this was written in 2022, but the title is The Explosive History of the 2,000-Year-Old Pompeii Masturbating Man. So they found the remains of a victim of Pompeii. So everyone knows that Pompeii was a city a long time ago. It says in 79 BCE, the ancient Roman city of Pompeii. It was buried in volcanic ash from Mount Vesuvius, a volcano located in Italy's Gulf of Naples. The bodies of over 1,000 inhabitants have been frozen in the moment of its eruption, including one suspected to be having his own eruption at that time. So this is interesting. Apparently, this volcano erupted, and it covered everything in ash and I don't know. Everything was buried in volcanic ash, so it must have been such a quantity of ash, and it must have happened so quickly that like everything just stopped for everyone. Because they find these remains and they're all like just statues, and they're all like frozen in time. It's like so weird that it happened the way it happened. The plaster cast body of this 2,000-year-old man can still be seen clutching himself tightly with his right hand. What else? It's a hilarious photo. It's just a guy on his back with one knee bent, and he's just holding his cock in his right hand, and he looks like he's about to have an orgasm. It's really funny. It says, but was this man truly caught getting a hard on while the volcano was getting its hot on? Oh my God. Can you please? But then I'm reading about Pompeii. And I mean, this is the thing. Okay, I wanted to read an article that I heard about. Or was it a book? I think it was a book about written by a woman that was referenced many times in the movie 1946, which I talked about, I believe, last week. And I want to read that to you later, but there's this idea that's understood by people who have actually thought about it or done any research about history, that we aren't looser with our morals now. We aren't sluttier. We aren't more heathenistic. We're not worse now than ever. We're not allowing deviancy more than ever, like, or perversions. Like, throughout human history, there have been times where people were more or less prude, where there were freer times, and apparently in ancient Pompeii it was extremely free. It says here that Pompeii is remembered as a place of surprising liberality. Tourists continue to flock to the ruins of this once vibrant city, often finding themselves shocked by the number of stone phalluses carved into the pavement and walls, some even hanging invitingly above doorways. so it's rumored that these phalluses, these images of dicks all over the town, are actually like an early form of advertising, it says. And if you followed the direction of the shafts, it is claimed you would find yourself at the nearest brothel. And they call them penis pointers. So it's like arrows pointing you to like where you could get sex. And apparently back in those days, which by the way, there's always been sex workers. Um, if you want to call it prostitution, which it has been called for a long time, um, that is like one of the oldest jobs, one of the oldest careers you can have. Is basically ever since there was money or something to trade, sex has been used as a form of currency, right? So back in those days, apparently it wasn't illegal in ancient Pompeii to do sex work. And wealthy men and even some wealthy women would, you know, required at different times the services of sex workers. Um, it says sexuality and sexual behavior did not carry the same shameful stigmas we know today. From what we can understand, sexual behavior was regarded no differently than other bodily behaviors such as eating and defecating. It equally came with its own social rules on the acceptable ways to engage in the behavior, but it was otherwise regarded as an immutable aspect of human life. I just think that's so cool. There's still like an old brothel that you can actually visit. It says the Lupanar of Pompeii is the ruins of a brothel in the ancient Roman city of Pompeii. And it's in like perfect condition. It's amazing how these things were preserved because of that volcano. It says around 1870, Giuseppe Fiorelli introduced a method that envisaged the creation of a cast of liquid plaster in the cavities left by the bodies that had decomposed inside the volcanic material left behind at Pompeii. So the things that we see are actually just plaster statues that they poured. So apparently the ashes encompassed everyone and then hardened kind of or whatever, and over time the bodies decomposed and just left like little air bubbles where the body was, and they poured the plaster into those bubbles and created like a statue, and then they could carve it out. There's this like little statue here of two people laying on the ground, and one of them has just like a little pee-pee. It actually looks like a ball sack with like a little uncut wiener. It's funny that should be so apparent. There's not really a face on this person, but there's a little pee-pee. Oh, this person has a face. This person, no face. Also, it looks like this person lying down on the ground maybe had like material that, was a part of the bubble. Like, that's pretty cool. It's just so fucking cool how things are preserved in time like that. There's also these like bog people that fall into bogs, and then like hundreds of years later we find their remains and we're like, oh wow, all right, cool, they still have hair and everything and skin and teeth. It's very, very crazy. I hope I don't die in a bog. That would be very upsetting. Anyway, guys, I hope this wasn't the worst episode I've ever done. I thought that was fucking fascinating. I learned a lot from telling you stuff today. I hope you did too. Thank you so much for being around. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are awesome. I know you guys are listening and you support me, and it makes me feel so good. We are approaching our 100th episode. And I'm very excited about that. And it might come. It might come real hard. What was I going to say about that? It might come right before something major changes in my life. And we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what's in the cards. I think I am actually going to pull out a tarot card tonight and see what it says. Sometimes I do that when I'm unsure about life decisions. I pull out one tarot card or like a couple tarot cards and just see what's going down. It's so funny. I'm so invested right now in things that are like career wise or like living situation or just like trying to make my life what I want it to be, that I honestly I'm just not in a phase where I care about sex right now. I really don't. Somebody asked me to have sex the other night, like a friend of mine. They were like, "You want to come over and fuck?" And my niece was like, "I can't believe you're like just brushing this off. This is like a huge thing. Like somebody asked you to have sex." And I'm just like, there's not a story there. Like I'm not interested. And I told them as such. And I also kind of think this person would fuck just about anybody. Yeah, and I don't feel flattered. I'm just like, nope, thanks, bye. And I'm not weirded out. I'm just like, nope, no thank you. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. Who knows? I really do feel like I'm 40. And I don't think that I have no more sex drive. I just think like there's just very few things in my life right now that get me going. And I need to maybe find some things that get me going. So I think a move is in order. You guys, put it out there. Put it out there. I hope you're filling your holes with a move to another place. I hope you're filling your holes with things that make you feel zesty and steamy, if that's what you want. Or just fill your holes with whatever makes you happy. Bye-bye.